Try writing a story where the main character gets no luck. And I mean no luck whatsoever, no good luck, no bad luck. Nothing that could potentially happen to him ever happens. He never comes across a girl he would fall in love with, he never comes across a mysterious stranger. No one invites him to a secret society. No weird online ad leads him to a wizard's website. Nothing ever happens. Nothing bad happens to him either. No car accidents, no unexpected illnesses, no tragedy in his life. Just nothing really good happens. Try to write this kind of story and you will realize that it simply doesn't work as a story. Of course, you could write a side character like that, who constantly tries to achieve something but never gets any luck, but such story would not work for a main character because stories are built on luck. Something has to happen. There must be some sort of a trigger. Sometimes when the main character bargains, he must win. Otherwise, the story will soon get boring and repetitive if a main character keeps failing trying to achieve his not very outstanding goal even. Because for him to have a greater goal, he will need to have some luck achieving a smaller one. Now, if you try to write a character who only has bad luck, it could work as a story. You could write a story and even a novel where bad things just keep happening to the character and he just never gets a break. Some people would even like it, they would feel a lot of pity and compassion for the main character, but it probably wouldn't be that interesting of a story because no one would believe you when you try to predict a happy ending. People would know that in the end, the only thing left for a main character is to suffer. Now, in storytelling, you have to give some good and some bad luck to your character. And since you are the god of their universe, you can decide when your main character is going to achieve his goal, when he's done enough, and when he deserves to win. Unfortunately, in real life, it happens a lot when you just get no luck, when you want to achieve something but nothing happens, when no matter how hard you try, you just come across a brick wall and there is no way to get through it. Of course, by taking action, you increase your chances of getting some luck. The more you walk around the streets, the more chances you get of meeting a mysterious stranger who is going to change your life. Yet, there is always a possibility that luck will just never come your way. However, by probability theory, the more you do something, the more chances you get. So that's why people advocate for never giving up, for trying over and over again, for days, months, and years. After all, if you fail hundreds of times, at least you get to record a YouTube video about it. And that's, well, something. Luck is unfair. Sometimes you get what you want the first time you try, and sometimes you never get it. There is this logical fallacy called the fundamental attribution error. That's when you attribute other people's problems to some faults in them, while you attribute your own problems to the faults of the world outside of you. And I feel like it's exactly what happens when people are being blamed for not trying hard enough. If you can't find a job or a partner, if you can't get into university or get a good grade, it's all because of you. It's because you didn't try hard enough. It's because you can't read the thoughts of people around you. It's all because you don't understand the fundamental laws of the universe, or you're just not hireable, you don't look right, you don't speak right, there is always something wrong with you, and that's why you get no luck. Now, the other person who says it, they are better than you in everything. They got what they wanted, and they believe they tried so hard for it. Yet, a lot of times, it just comes down to luck, to how one mission officer or professor was feeling at that exact moment when the decision was made about your future. And it feels so wrong when people tell other people that they're not trying hard enough, but if they get rejected so many times, it means that something is wrong with them. Sometimes it's just not true, sometimes you just never got any good luck. And when you are told that you just need to improve, it only leads you to a vicious circle where you keep blaming yourself. You keep trying harder and harder, putting more and more effort into something, but you still get the same result. Because the problem was never in you. Sometimes the problem is actually in the outside world, and in the way luck is fundamentally unfair. And to be upset at unfairness is a fundamental human trait That's why I find it so disgusting when people complain about complainers. When people say that there is no need to complain about luck because it's something you can change. Yet, the emotion does appear inside you, the emotion that you were treated unfairly, and not even by someone specific, but by the world in general. And if complaining about it makes it easier, then all power to you. After all, sometimes to proceed in life, you just need to roll the dice and keep rolling it until you get 6. And even though each time you roll, your chances of getting a 6 are around 17%. Sometimes it's gonna take you way more than 6 rolls to actually get a 6 because probability theory is all about probability. It never gives you a guarantee, but a certain amount of attempts will give you what you want. There is this very popular idea online that everything that happens to you is the consequence of your own choices. And even though it might motivate some people, it is simply not true. After all, there are so many people in the world and they make so many choices. And everything what happens to you is as much a consequence of their choices as it is of yours. It's not only your environment, but the decisions of people you don't even know that impact how your life will go through. Some people decide to delay the trains, to cancel the flights. People decide to admit you to the university or not, decide to hire you or not, decide to swipe left or right on you. And there is always an element of luck, an accident, a fleeting thought which impacts their decisions, and there is nothing you can do about it. To think that everything is a consequence of your choices is to put too much responsibility on your own shoulders. And too much responsibility may be stressful, especially for the things you don't impact. It might lead you to dig too deep into your own choices, to question your every decision, even when it is completely harmless. If you get too concerned about every choice you make because it could impact your future, you would end up not even being able to choose what you are going to eat today. If you are responsible for everything what happens in your life, you are literally responsible for everything. And to be responsible for everything means you will never ever have a break. Thus, I believe that idea is toxic and simply untrue. Moreover, people who get more luck than you are tend to think that it's because of their choices. And then they start shaming you, wallowing in their own luck, telling you that it's your fault that you're not as lucky as they are, just because they got to roll the 6 on the dice faster. It's irrational to believe that your choices have so much power, because they are actually pretty limited in their power. They are compared to the choices of the other people and to the objective forces of nature. You might fail if other people decide that you're going to fail, or if they really want someone else to win. And there is very few things you can actually do about it. For you to believe that you can change the opinion of every person, that you can be hired if only you submit the correct resume, that you can be accepted into a university if only your essay is perfect, is to believe that you are greater than anyone and everything else, and that your choices matter more. It means that you both overestimate yourself and don't have enough compassion towards yourself to just give yourself a break. A lot of people say that the idea that you are responsible for everything in your life and you are in control is simply utilitarian. It motivates you to make choices, it motivates you to move forward. However, it is simply not true, and I prefer truth to goodness, because what goodness there is in lies and delusion. It's only an illusion of good. In the same way, thinking that you control everything in your life is only an illusion of control, which ultimately just drives you insane. In general, I don't subscribe to utilitarian theory, and I believe that if everything what happens to us is so dependent on luck, it's better to face this fact instead of trying to convince yourself that everything is your choice. Because if you refuse to face the reality, it might bite you in the back later with the feelings of guilt, shame, the feeling that you didn't do enough, and all the negative emotions that come with it, even though there was nothing you could really do. Now, some people revert to magical thinking. They say that if you just ask the universe good enough, the universe will give you what you want. Because there is always someone distributing the chances, and you might impact them if you talk to that someone, to that entity we call the universe. Yet, Yet it has the same effect as begging, "Can I roll 6? Can I roll 6, please?" before rolling the dice. It doesn't really help, it just makes you feel better about yourself. And in the end of the day, when you still don't roll 6, it just leaves you more disappointed. Now, in the universe itself, this magical thinking leads you to waste your time in vain hope. And then, when you finally roll the 6 you wanted to roll, it takes all the credit. Yeah, that's because you've been begging the universe for so long, it finally gave you what you wanted. Only it's not the universe, it's just the chances which finally added up, and now you don't even get the credit for trying so hard because, well, it was all due to the universe. Now, there is a simple reason of why I'm recording this video and ranting about people who refuse to acknowledge the existence of luck. And the reason is, I've applied to more than 200 jobs, and I have yet to get a job. I've been looking for a job in IT for about 9 months now. I've been to networkings, I've had my resume rewritten a couple of times, sometimes with professionals, sometimes with advice from the internet. I've tried different websites. I've even tried literally coming to the IT offices and knocking on their doors to ask them if they could give me a job. But it just doesn't help. And whenever I tell people about it, the first thing they ask me is, how is my resume? How's my cover letter? They all give me the same advice you can find on Google. And when hearing that I got more than 200 rejections, they just assume the fault is in me. Because it just can't happen, right? You just can't be trying for so long and doing so much and getting no result. There must be something wrong with the way you are trying. Only a lot of the people are in the same situation as I am. And that's not their fault, it's just the way market works. There is just more supply of IT specialists when there is demand for them now. And there is not that much I can do. And a lot of the people who give me this advice just don't want to accept that they got their own job by luck. And there is nothing I can do to increase my luck. I can only increase my chances. But my luck is very low by default. A lot of the times people give this advice to not acknowledge that their own position in life depended on luck and that they didn't actually do that much to deserve it, because there were a lot of people who did the same things but achieved nothing. Now, could I have done more? Yes, I could. I don't have enough pet projects. I don't have volunteering experience. I haven't been to hackathons. But I don't have to. Some people find a job without any of these things. Some people just get lucky, and I'm left here wasting my time doing things I'm not interested in, just to get something I already have. It's only fair if I at least feel angry at the way the luck is unfair. And what's worse, even if I do all those things, even if I create a pet project, me getting a job is still no guarantee. We can still choose someone who is better than me, someone who made more pet projects, or most likely someone who just has more experience. Now, no matter how much I try to increase my chances, I can still fail. So I try to at least enjoy the process of making my choices and rolling the dice. I found a comfortable way to look for jobs, and it even brings me some satisfaction now, as I can watch podcasts on the background while I go through hundreds and hundreds of job postings and apply for jobs. I know that I would enjoy hackathons or volunteering experience way less, so that's why I don't do it, because while it doesn't guarantee me any success, it guarantees me that I'm gonna be miserable while doing it. And that's the only way I found to deal with this problem for now. Just try to make the experience a little bit more enjoyable by adding some things which I'm gonna enjoy no matter the result. Because I don't listen to podcasts in order to get any specific kind of information from them. I just enjoy the experience itself. Now, does it mean that the universe doesn't want me to be hired? No. Even if the universe could think of one, I don't think it would care about me or about anyone on this planet, honestly, because the universe is way too big. But the universe can't even think, it doesn't have a conscience, and some things just happen without a reason or rhyme. What I wanted to say by this video is that luck is fundamentally unfair and you're justified to be angry on it. People who tell you that everything is your choice Simplify the idea of luck too much and try to put too much responsibility on your shoulders while also believing that they are better than you. Thus, they prefer comfort to truth. People who tell you that you are just not in the connection to the universe and that you should ask the universe for the things you want also just simplify the idea of luck and are being very naive if they actually believe that the universe would listen to them. After all, you are not all powerful, and the power of your choices is pretty limited. So you might as well just enjoy the things you are doing to increase your chances. And if there is something you can do which will increase your chances but which you will hate, just remember that after your chances are increased, you can still fail. So maybe just go for rolling the dice more times if you actually enjoy the process. There is too much blame, absence of empathy, and survival errors in the radical ownership idea. If you do something to achieve your goal is still not guaranteed. Only the fact of you doing something is a guarantee. So try to enjoy it while you are at it. If you ever get a chance to decrease the impact of luck on your life or the lives of others, then take it. Because luck is unfair, so it's better to add fairness to this world.